In this video, let us see some of the PN diode applications. So one of the main application of PN diode is rectifier. A rectifier is defined as an electronic circuit that converts AC signal, that is voltage or current, into unidirectional pulsating DC. So rectifier is something which converts AC to pulsating DC. So we know that AC, suppose if this is the example of AC, I am taking some sinusoidal waveform which contains positive half cycle and negative half cycle. Okay, it converts AC to pulsating DC. Pulsating DC, we know that DC means a straight line, it will be like this, but it is something pulsating in nature, means a bit small number of ripples will be present on it. Next, for this purpose, a unidirectional conducting device such as PN junction diode is used. We know that PN junction diode is a unidirectional device which conducts only in one direction, that is from P to N. Okay, this is a symbol of PN diode. Next, PN diode allows current to flow only in one direction. So see here, suppose if I connect this P-type material to positive terminal of the battery and N to negative terminal of the battery. Okay, this is called as forward bias. So under forward bias, this diode will act as short circuit. Therefore, it allows the flow of current only in one direction, that is from P to N. That's why diode is called as unidirectional device. Next, the purpose of converting AC voltage into unidirectional DC voltage is called as rectification. We know that rectifier is a device which converts AC to pulsating DC, and this process is called as rectification. So for that, see here, transformer, rectifier, filter, voltage regulator and load is there. So transformer, we know that transformers are of two types, that is one is step up and step down. So transformers are of two types, one is step up transformer, next one is step down transformer. So generally we know that the AC that we get is 230 volt and 50 hertz. Okay, suppose if we make use of step down transformer, then this 230 volt will get reduced. Suppose if you go for step up, then more than the input will get. Suppose if we are applying 250, more than that we will get here as the output. Okay, and it also depends upon the number of turn ratio. See here, this is called as step down transformer and it depends upon the number of turns. So here the number of turns, suppose if I say N1, here number of turns are N2 and the voltage across primary winding is V1, across secondary is V2. So the formula is V1 by V2 is equal to N1 by N2 is equal to I2 by I1. So by using this, you can find the voltage that is present across the secondary winding. Okay, next comes the rectifier. So as we already seen, rectifier is something which converts AC into pulsating DC. So generally our main intention is, suppose if input is AC quantity, I want output as DC. That is the main reason of using all these transformer, rectifiers, filters, voltage regulators and loads. Okay, but if you observe, this rectifier will take input as AC quantity, but it will give output as pulsating DC. But I want pure DC, so that's why I'll make use of filters. So there are again different types of filters like capacitor filter, inductor filter, LC filter and CLC filter. Okay, this is LC filter is also called as L section, CLC is also called as pi section filter. And voltage regulator. Voltage regulator means it will maintain a constant output voltage. So it can be any voltage, it can be 9 volt, 5 volt, 9 volt or 12 volt. And this is being given to the load. Suppose if you make use of a mobile phone as the load, generally our mobile phone needs 5 volt of supply. Okay, this is one of the main application of PN diode. Now we shall see what are the different types of rectifiers that are present. So coming to classifications of rectifiers, as we already seen, rectifier is something which converts AC to pulsating DC. Next, classifications of rectifiers. So rectifiers are classified into two types. One is half wave rectifier, next one is full wave rectifier. Again, this full wave rectifiers are of two types. One is center tapped rectifier, next one is bridge rectifier. Now let us see each and every rectifier in detail according to their parameters and performance as well. So coming to parameters of rectifier circuit. So coming to first parameter, this is called as VDC or V average. So it is average value of DC voltage present in the output, and this is the formula which is used to calculate VDC, which is 1 by 2 pi integral 0 to 2 pi Vm sin omega t d omega t. You might get it out that why I took only from 0 to 2 pi. Observe here, if I take one sinusoidal waveform which contains positive as well as negative half cycle, this is from 0, pi and 2 pi. So that's why I have taken one complete full cycle. So that's the reason I am integrating from 0 to 2 pi. Okay. Similarly, IDC or I average. So this is used to calculate voltage. This one is used to calculate the current. Okay. Average current IDC is equal to again the same thing, 1 by 2 pi integral 0 to 2 pi Im sin omega t d omega t. So these are the first two parameters that you have to calculate in any kind of rectifier that you study. Coming to next, VRMS. Here RMS stands for root mean square value. Why we need to take root mean square value means, suppose if I take one AC quantity like this, so if I want to find the value at this particular point, it will be different. Suppose if I want to calculate at this point, it will be different. So that's why in order to overcome this discrepancies, we are going for RMS value, which is almost equivalent to DC. Whereas suppose if I consider a DC, so DC is generally constant like this. So if I take value at this point of time, suppose T1, here another point of time T2, both the values will be same. But whereas in case of AC, these two values will be different. At this point I'll get different value, and at this point I'll get different value. This is the reason we are going for RMS, which is root mean square value. So coming to VRMS, this is nothing but root. So see here, this is root, and mean is nothing but an average. So 2 pi root mean, and this is nothing but square part. So root mean square is there. Okay. So simply the previous case what you have seen, we have seen that VDC is equal to 1 by 2 pi integral 0 to 2 pi Vm sin omega t d omega t. Here also the same thing, but changes is root mean square. So instead of VDC, now it becomes VRMS. So root mean is there, next left out thing is square. Okay, this is about a root mean square in order to calculate the voltage. Same thing for current also. IRMS is nothing but root mean square value, but here we have to take Im square, whereas for voltage we have to take Vm. So this is an important note which you need to understand. So RMS stands for root mean square value. So RMS value is an effective value of AC quantities which needs to be considered for different types of calculations and assumptions, and it is also equivalent to DC value. So I have told you the main difference why we are going for RMS, why not AC directly. Why? Because if you go for AC directly, for different instance of time we'll get different values. Okay, that's the main problem. That's why I am calculating RMS value instead of going directly with AC, and this RMS value is almost equivalent to DC. See here, it is almost equivalent to DC value. Next, RMS value is equivalent to its DC value. Okay, it is a way of expressing AC quantity of voltage or current in terms of equivalent DC. Okay, so you need to remember these 2 points. Why we are going for root mean square value, why not directly AC. Next parameters. So the next important parameter is ripple factor. So just now I have told you a rectifier is something which converts AC to pulsating DC. Pulsating DC means generally the output quantity will have some amount of ripples. Okay, but what is our main requirement? Our main requirement is we want pure DC. Okay, so in order to find the pure DC, we need to know how many number of ripple components are present on it. So that's why we'll make use of this ripple factor denoted with gamma. So RMS value of AC components of wave by average or DC value. Okay, by using this one you can calculate, or else you can use this one also. So by using this formula also you can calculate, which is gamma is equal to under root form factor square minus 1, whereas form factor is nothing but it will tell us about the shape of the output waveform. So what is form factor means? FF form factor is equal to VRMS by VDC. Okay, form factor is nothing but VRMS by VDC. So by using these two formulas you can calculate the ripple factor. See here, first point, the output current contains both AC as well as DC components. The ripple factor means the percentage of AC components in the rectified output. Okay, I want to find the number of ripple components that are present. Okay, ripples are nothing but they are AC in nature. Next, ideally DC current or voltage is unidirectional and has no fluctuations with respect to time. Next, it has an average or DC value over which a number of unwanted AC components are superimposed called as ripples. Okay, so ripples are nothing but AC components which should not be there. If we want output as a pure DC, we need to find those number of ripples. Next, in many applications this type of pulsating in the output DC is not desirable. Okay, so the ripple factor is defined as a measure of smoothness of DC output. So measure of smoothness of DC output means no ripple component should be present. So that's why the next concept that we're going to deal is, in order to remove all these ripple components, we'll go with a special kind of concept called as filters. Okay, so gamma is nothing but RMS value of AC component of wave by average or DC value, which is nothing but you can use either IDC or else VDC. Okay, so coming to next parameter, efficiency. So generally we know that efficiency is something which is output by input. Okay, output by input. So we have seen this figure which contains transformer. After transformer there will be a rectifier. So after rectifier it will be passed through filter. After filter there will be a voltage regulator, and the last one will be load. Okay, generally the input that a transformer will take is in AC, but the output that we want is DC. Okay, so this is called as input, this is called as output. So that's why in efficiency we use output by input. So output is something which is output DC by input which is AC. So that's why we go with PDC by PAC. The rectifier efficiency is defined as a ratio of DC output power to AC input power. Okay, input is AC in nature, output is DC in nature. So that's why efficiency is nothing but PDC by PAC into 100. Okay, in terms of percentage. So we know how to calculate power. Power is equal to V into I, or else I square R, next V square by R. So among these three, any one you can make use of in order to calculate the efficiency. Next, coming to the next parameter, which is peak inverse voltage. So peak inverse voltage means it is the maximum amount of reverse bias voltage a diode can withstand. So generally if we see a diode, so p-type material and n-type material joined together to form a diode. So under forward bias, p-type is connected to positive, n-type is connected to negative. Okay, positive and negative. So when this connection is done, it will act as forward bias. So that way the diode will act as short circuit. So short circuit means it will be like this. This is one thing. Next, diode. In order to make a diode reverse bias, this P should be connected to negative and N should be connected to positive. Okay, so in this case the diode is reverse bias, so that's why it will act as open circuit. This is called as open circuit. So it is defined as a maximum voltage that a diode can withstand in the reverse bias. So the maximum amount of voltage that a diode can withstand and reverse bias case is called as peak inverse voltage. Next, coming to regulation. So regulation is nothing but no load minus full load by full load into 100. Formula which we have to use in order to calculate percentage regulation. So next parameter is transformer utilization factor. The DC power to be delivered to the load in a rectifier circuit decides the rating of the transformer used in the circuit. So we know that input is AC quantity and output that we want is DC. Okay, so among the amount of AC input that I am applying, how much is being consumed by this transformer is needed. So it will consume some amount of this AC input, and how much is being delivered to the load is decided by this TUF, transformer utilization factor. Okay, this factor will tell us what is the rating of the transformer that is used in our circuitry. Okay, so how much amount of input that I am applying and how much is being delivered to the load is called as transformer utilization factor. So TUF, transformer utilization factor, is nothing but PDC by PAC rated. So coming to next parameter, which is called as form factor. So just now we have seen form factor is nothing but it will tell us about the shape of the output waveform, which is nothing but Vrms by Vdc. Next parameter, peak factor. So peak factor is nothing but Vm by Vrms. What is this Vm? Suppose if I take this sinusoidal waveform which contains positive and negative half cycle, this is called as plus Vm and this is called as minus Vm. Okay, Vm stands for maximum voltage by Vrms, which is nothing but root mean square value. Next, coming to ripple factor. So the frequency of output signal of a rectifier over a period of one full cycle of input signal is considered as output frequency of a output frequency or ripple factor. So generally we know that frequency is equal to 1 by time, where t is nothing but time period. Okay, so here if you want to take what is meant by time period, it contains one positive and negative half cycle. From here to here it is called as a time period, and frequency can be calculated by using a formula t is equal to 1 by f. Okay, these are the 12 parameters that you have to understand in order to know the working of different kinds of rectifiers like half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier. Again, in this full wave rectifier, center tapped as well as bridge. Okay, I hope you have understood what I have taught. If you really liked my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.